Hello and welcome to Goddess Resurrection. My name is Britta and I am your host. And today we're talking about how to separate your energy from someone. And so we'll be going over three scenarios today as to what to be aware of, how to notice it, and then what you can do to change it, to, remove their energy from you and pull your energy back, right? So this is really important information because we're heading into this new earth high frequency consciousness, which means Goddess work is energy awareness. Goddess work is light work. Goddess work is deeper, keenly aware sensory of yourself, of your inner landscape, of how you're reacting, of old energies showing up, but also staying very aware of everybody else and their energies and what they're doing with their energies, right? So let's start getting this work a little bit more into these deepened awarenesses and practices because you guys are ready, and it's very important to move forward with more knowledge, right? Because that's what this is all about. Before we dive in, hello, my gorgeous sister. I hope you are well and you're breathing. How did the eclipse season go for you? I mean, we're still in it. It was just a few days ago, the Libra new moon eclipse, which I'm still feeling. I was tired and just had a lot of physical purging happening and still breathing and feeling through it, breathing and feeling through it. I'm sleeping a lot, giving myself a lot of rest and giving myself a lot of grace and giving myself a lot of patience with it all, right? Because remember, our bodies are working overtime right now, not just the purging, but also the light embodiment. The building of light body is a lot of work for our bodies, our nervous systems. So be good to yourself. Listen to your body. Don't push it too hard. Now is not the time to push hard, right? Listen, if you're tired, make sure you rest or give your body good nutrients, lots of water, right? Lots of communication. Good. So let's get started. Now, this new paradigm, this raised consciousness of much, much, much higher frequencies is now going to call us into much higher awareness, much greater sense of feeling, knowing, sensing abilities, right? As you know, when you are in your feminine energy, your sensory opens. The more that you are in your feminine energy, the more you're feeling and knowing yourself, your own energies, and also everybody else's. The more that you are in your feminine energy, the more you are also in your light, right? So that is the continuous, most important number one practice for you. Stay in your breath, stay in your inner awareness, stay in your feminine energy, and practice bringing that into the day, practice bringing that into the doings so that you learn to stay in your feminine energy. And then from here, you'll see it'll become easier and easier to discern the thoughts, to watch yourself in your reactions versus responses, to notice how you want to say something, but you'll hold it back. And then you'll know the right thing to say from your light, from your inner flow, from within your feminine energy. And so one of the number one new golden rules about this new paradigm of the new earth is going to be my energy stays with me, your energy stays with you. This is going to become very important because my energy field, right, my aura, all the way out to the tips of the fingers, it's a very big space all the way around above my head, below my feet, all the way around my body. This is my energy container, which holds my light. Remember that this energy container, the physical body, as well as the outer bodies, is the space in which you embody your light. Now, when you're always picking up somebody else's energy, or you're leaking your energy because you're always thinking about somebody else or focused or fixated on external things, then just imagine how you're never really truly able to be in your light flow. You're never really truly able to be in your fullness of your light vibration. Because let's say, for example, you're taking on somebody's energy. And empaths, we all used to do this all the time. It was a way in which we connected. It was a way in which we used to relate to another. But that's not no go anymore, no goodie. So think of it in this way. This old way of taking on somebody else's energy, it's then now this energy is in your space. Let's say this person was very heavy-hearted or very upset, right? So whatever the quality of that energy is, it's now in your space. And so then what's going to happen to you? Well, now it's going to stay in your space, in your energy field. And first of all, it's going to affect your own energy. It'll affect your own energy in the same way. So your energy begin to merge with it. And it'll block the space. It'll block the space because your light cannot embody when there is so much density. That's why we're healing. We're healing through layers and layers and layers of old density patterning. The more we heal, the more we purge, the more we clear, the more we're creating a clarity in our energy field, which means now our light can more easily embody, and the vibration of it is now able to be higher. The clearer your energy, the higher your light frequency. It goes hand in hand. Whenever we take on somebody else's energy that may be heavy and dense, it'll make us denser. It'll mess with our light frequency because now the light is going to pull back naturally because it can't fill in because of the density. And then it'll lower our frequency. Right? Makes sense. So you see how it is very important moving forward to become much more conscious, much more aware, much more present, and much more hip to the easy ways in which you can keep yourself pretty present and pretty clear at all times. Good. Let's start with the scenario number one, which I've already just very slightly touched on. So let's say you're an empath, and you probably are. Most of us that are empaths are ahead of the curve. We're the ones ascending right now. We're the ones sensing, feeling, knowing energy much more easily than many other souls. Not that other souls can't feel it, but remember, the more sensitive the being, the more evolved the soul. Now, as an empath, including myself, I had to learn this the hard way. As an empath, you feel people's energy, you feel your partner's energy, you feel your children's energy, you feel your friends' energy, you feel your co-workers' energy, you feel people's energy, right? And so with this, of course, this was always a plus side for us in terms of knowing where people were at, right? We were able to read it and recognize it, just like information, reading it from a page in a book. And so as we now learned to work with this information, we could now navigate life in these ways that we could, work the room in necessary ways, for example. But especially when it now comes to energy clarity and us feeling somebody else. it's now going to become so much more important to not take it on. So your partner could be sad or upset. That doesn't mean that you need to take it on. It doesn't mean you need to carry it. It doesn't mean it's your job or your responsibility to now feel it, which means you've taken it on because now you're thinking about it, because now you're like wondering what you can do to help them out. Now you're gonna like want to have a conversation with them and be like, are you okay, honey? What happened? Tell me. Is it all right? Well, what did you say? Well, what did they say? Right? So, no, it's going to become very important to recognize that you are your soul. This auric field, your energy container, is your container for your journey. Just because you have people that you love, it doesn't mean that you need to continue to be in this enmeshment. We don't want to be in this codependency any longer. And so it's important to recognize it because empaths have this tendency for this enmeshment, for this codependency. Either way, the dynamic can go either way. Same thing. So that's the first awareness that, you immediately recognize when you are feeling somebody's energy. It doesn't matter who they are. And then notice your tendency to want to react, to want to fix it, to want to, connect, to want to make it better, whatever it is. You in that moment need to say to yourself, okay, thank you for sharing. You can just say that to the energy, right? Thank you for sharing. That's all I needed to know. I don't need to take it on. I'm not going to carry it. It's not my energy. It's not part of my journey. I am going to leave that with you. It is your energy. It is your responsibility. It is your energy. It is part of your journey. It is your energy. It is part of your growth. Get used to it. And so if it's your kids, it's going to be a little bit harder just because, you want to help the children understand emotions, how to breathe and feel through them. And so in that case, if it is the kids and they're still quite young, yes, sit with them, breathe with them, show them, oh, look, here, let me show you, mommy's breathing. Just nice deep in and exhales. Just a few more in and exhales. And notice how you're feeling better already. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, let's do it two more times. Right, and breathe with them. Breathe with your kids as much as you can. It's so valuable for them to learn to deal with their emotional energy, with their tension, whatever it is, just by focusing all of their attention onto the breath, right? But if it's anybody else but children, from here on out, you feel their energy, you recognize it, and then you say to yourself and to the energy, you say, thank you for sharing, but this is not mine to take on. Thank you for sharing, but this is not mine to carry. Thank you very much, but this is not mine to fix or solve. Thank you very much. I'm gonna now let you work with your energy for your growth, for your journey, and you do it lovingly and compassionately. And if later on or tomorrow or at some point they want some assistance and there could be a conversation, that's a whole nother story. Have that conversation. Perfectly fine. Just don't make it the norm any longer for you to have to jump to the tending of other people's experiences, which you are feeling through energy as an empath. Okay, good, excellent. Now, let's get to number 2, because number 2 is a little bit more tricky. So number two has more to do with you. So let's use the example of you focusing on somebody, fixating about something. Let's say you had a fight with your best friend and you're going over and over and over in your head about what she said and what you said, and I can't believe she said that, and oh, maybe I shouldn't have said this, and you know what I mean? I can't believe she's not understanding this, or she doesn't have compassion, or maybe you feel, oh, I should have been more compassionate, right? So know that this thinking, this fixating on this other person is now letting your energy, your mental energy, go to them. And not only is your energy going to them, also emotions, however you're feeling about it, that energy is going to them too. So now it's going to them and they'll feel it, right? When you're always thinking about somebody, they'll feel it. If not consciously, definitely subconsciously. Never underestimate the level of sensitivity. And even the ones that we think aren't feeling it, that we think are not empaths, oh, everybody's feeling it now because we are evolving. So be very careful. Let's say you really want a job and you went in for the interview and you can't stop thinking about that. They'll feel it. Let's say you went on a first date and it went really well and you kind of like have the butterflies and you keep thinking about that person, they will feel it. You have to learn to stop doing that, because we'll get to how it affects you in a second, but just think of this alone. Just think of how you thinking, you fixating, you thinking, looping over and over and over again, they can feel it. And depending on their level of sensitivity, they'll know what to do with it or not. But oftentimes, this overwhelm that they can feel is going to be a turnoff. Yeah. So it might turn them away from wanting to give you the job, or it might turn them away from wanting to go on a second date. So be very aware of that. You need to stop. You need to be aware of what you're doing and that we're all becoming more sensitive now. So if you don't want somebody to know that you're obsessing, that you're fixating, that you can't stop thinking about them, well, stop thinking about them. You must. And so instead, right, when you're catching yourself doing that, whatever it is about, make sure you come back into your breath. Come back into your center. Come back into your center and just breathe up and down your spine. Just a few nice, deep, slow, conscious in and exhales. And remind yourself of that, hey, I don't want to do that. And so then make sure you close it up in a way that you now call your energy back. Because all of this thinking, this external attachment, is opening your energy. It's opening your energy field. And not only is it opening your energy field, which means entities can attach, it's also now leaking your energy, which means you're not in your flow. Your light isn't able to flow. Your light isn't able to embody, right? So immediately stop that and then breathe up and down your spine. So you recenter yourself and then say, okay, I'm calling back my energy. I'm calling back all of my mental and all of my emotional energy from this person, that person, this opportunity, these situations, and any other situations or people or places or things, knowingly or unknowingly, calling it back. calling back my own energy. And as it is returning to me, it is returning pure and clean and clear. So it returns to me pure, clean, and clear, right? Only let your energy come back to you pure, clean, and clear. And so know that that's going to happen on the way back in. If you request that, your higher self, your light is going to make sure that only your own pure, clean, and clear energy is able to return to you into your own space. Okay. So very important. Yes. Remember, people are becoming more sensitive. Remember, people are beginning to feel and pick up on energy much, much more. Not only are you giving yourself away, but you're also strangling any possibility with that overthinking, with that overloading. You know, as you know from manifestation work, right? When you keep thinking about something so much, you strangle the energy. And that's what that will do also, right? It'll strangle the energy. It'll be a turnoff, or it'll strangle the manifestation ability. And then, of course, you'll be leaking energy, and you're opening yourself, and you're vulnerable now, right, to densities. So make sure center, and then once you're centered, you call back your energy from all people, places, things, knowing to you or unknowingly to you, where you may have thought about something but you don't remember, and make sure the energy comes back to you pure, clean, and clear, right? Your own energy. Nothing from other people gets to come into your space. Okay, good. Now, let's talk about number 3. So number 3 is a little bit more everyday moments. And so this is now, you know, about you staying in your feminine energy. And I encourage you to practice this. I encourage you to bring this into your days. So here you are, you're in your feminine energy. And when you're in your feminine energy, let's use the example of you're going to go to school to pick up your child, right? You know, there's going to be teachers, there's going to be other parents, you're going to have conversations. Even if you don't stay for long, you're going to have conversations. And so the goal here is for you to understand and sense energy more easily and more readily and more clearly. So by you being in your feminine energy, by you staying in your feminine energy, that will happen, right? You'll be able to sense. And so pay attention here now what you are doing with your energy, because when you're in your feminine energy, you're much more in yourself, observing, clarity about yourself. Are you noticing yourself wanting? Are you noticing yourself wanting attention? Are you noticing yourself wanting to get something? Are you noticing yourself wanting to grasp? Right? So pay attention to yourself. Stay in the breath, stay in the center of your being, breathe up and down your spine, and then from here, notice whether you're talking with a teacher, you're talking with another mom, or maybe you guys are talking about the upcoming potluck celebration and who's going to bring what, right? So here, really start working with, start playing with, start noticing when you are reaching your energy into somebody else's energy, because you're getting too engaged, because you're wanting them to do something. Maybe you're wanting this specific mom to make their famous chicken roast, or maybe you're wanting this teacher to pay extra attention to your child, right? So you can still voice everything but pay attention to your energy, not reaching. And you do this by staying in your breath and staying in your feminine energy. And when you do that, you're able to notice you staying in yourself, you staying in your center, you staying unattached to anybody's choices, because you never have any control about anybody's choices. And this is all about learning to not controlling anybody else, and also learning to not let anybody else control you, because this is now the other part to this exercise. So let's say you're in your breath and your feminine energy, centered, self-aware, self-conscious. And let's say you're talking to a mom and she wants you to take her kid for the weekend. So now notice how you are in yourself, and now you're feeling her energy. Maybe you're feeling her energy pushing into your energy. Now you're feeling her energy coming in, right? Because she's wanting. When we are wanting, when we give me, when we, want or grasp or need or give me, when that energy comes in, or we're doing it ourselves, this is always a level of control, right? So this needs to stop, because people are going to feel that more and more and more too. Don't be mistaken. Everybody is becoming more sensitive to energy. They feel it. They just feel it. They may not even be so aware, but it's just subconscious, right? So now you're feeling this mom's energy coming in because she really wants you to take her kid for the weekend, because maybe the nanny can't and the grandma can't, and they're just like, oh, please, So make sure in that moment, what you do is focus back onto the breath and to yourself and by yourself. Just reclaim your energy. Just by you setting the boundary of your energy field, reinforcing the outer line of your energy field will help with you controlling yourself and your energy, and not letting your energy leave your space. And by you drawing that line and setting that boundary, you're also going to help with not letting anybody else's energy come into your space. You continue with the conversation, you're listening, you're nodding, right? That's all good and well, all part of it. But make sure you practice this. And then you can just say, okay, well, let me talk to my partner, or let me see what plans we have this weekend. I'll get back to you later, right? You don't need to commit right away. You don't need to say yes right away. You don't need to say no right away. Just wait and play it out. See how it actually feels to you. If you immediately feel like it's a great idea, then say yes. But don't say yes just because her energy is affecting you or manipulating you, right? And also remember, it matters that you stay in your own energy to begin with. And so that is the main reason for all of this communication, that you stay aware of yourself in your own energy, because your energy is your energy. And just because we're now not enmeshing so easily anymore doesn't mean we're less present. We're actually more present. It doesn't mean we're less engaged. We're actually totally and fully engaged. It doesn't mean we're less caring. No, we're fully aware and present and caring. We're there all the way. We just don't want to enmesh energies any longer, because other people's energies are going to affect you in uncomfortable ways, because it's not your energy. And your energy shouldn't be in anybody else's energy space either. right? So let's keep it clean. Let's keep it clear. Yes? Yes. Okay, good. And I want to just touch quickly on the whole concept of taking up space. And so don't get caught up in the misperception of what that means that you're taking up space. Taking up space, it doesn't mean that you need to boost your energy and fill up so much space with your energy. That will be the worst thing to do for you and your well-being. I promise you. Make sure that you think of taking up space. It doesn't mean you're loud, right? Think of you're taking up space by just allowing yourself to be, just by you being authentic, just by you speaking your truth, just by you expressing yourself and your needs and speaking up for yourself if necessary. Because when you do that, when you're being authentically you, guess what happens? You're maintaining your energy, which means your container is intact. And then from here, your light, which is now able to flow, nothing is leaking, everything stays with you for your soul's journey. And then from here, your light spills over. The more that you are containing your energy, the more that you are holding your container and staying in your own energy, the stronger your light, right? Because your light is now able to embody and your energy is now able to really hold all of your light. And now your vibration is increasing. Of course, you're grounded. Your light continues to flow through you, through your outer bodies, through the roots, down into Mother Earth, right? Nicely anchored and grounded in your flow, which gets fortified through the conscious breath as you're staying in your feminine energy. And then when all of this is in place, your light is going to spill over naturally. This is the way you take up space, being authentic, staying grounded and centered and in your feminine energy and in your breath, right? Speaking truth calmly, politely, right? Speaking up for yourself, making your requests, being responsive, right? Just allowing yourself to be the light, to be the goddess, to be the oneness consciousness. It doesn't mean you say yes to everybody. It doesn't mean you take on other people or you let yourself leak into others. No. You're staying so self-possessed, so clear, so authentic with yourself, compassionate and loving and kind as you are from this place. And then your light will take care of everything. Because your light, remember, is infinite. And the more that you are in your self-possessed state, the more your light has the ability now, because your vibration is so high, to spill over. And your light is going to do the talking for you. Your light is going to do magical things that you don't even know about. Your light can hold up millions of other people on this planet from your community just by you staying self-possessed in yourself, in your space, in your breath, in your feminine energy, in your center, in your grounding. And so, yeah, your light is going to be able to really get to work when you are staying in this self-possessed space. And, this is why they've been saying this forever, that don't get so frantic about having to do so much out there. The more that you focus onto your own healing, the more that you focus on your own light embodiment, the more you will affect the entire world positively as the light, with your light, for your light. Makes sense? Yes. So even though you can't see it, even though it's not something that you're immediately doing, trust that that's what's happening. Trust that people will be drawn to your light. Trust that people will be able to feel your light. And they might even comment on it. They might say things like, oh, your energy is so lovely. Oh, I love her energy. So really, it's your light that they're picking up on, right? Because your energy is clear, and so your light can embody. But, even more so, your light is gonna affect and touch and reach out and help center and bring clarity to people without you having to give it a single thought. That's the magic of Goddess work. And so the more that you practice being self-possessed in yourself, eventually you will notice and see and sense and feel when your light is at work and what it's doing. So that's gonna come naturally. Don't worry about that right now. Focus onto yourself, making sure that you maintain yourself in your own energy. And just as a rule of thumb, before you go to bed, pull all of your energy back, just knowingly or unknowingly. Just make sure you just request for all of your energy, mental, emotional, whatever energies that you knowingly or unknowingly extended outwardly, for that all to come back to you purified and clean and clear. To return to you purified and clean and clear. Good. I'm excited for you. Okay, my gorgeous sister, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day and week. And thank you so much for your energy and your presence here on this platform. Please do like, share, subscribe. And from here, love and light blessings to you and yours. Ciao for now.